Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be turning your life around. Well, I've got a really great email. It's a success story from a guy who basically has been watching my YouTube videos, read my book, and has been applying the self-help things I've been teaching him in all areas of his life. So after he was stinging from his breakup, he now knows where he went wrong and what led to it. But it also caused him to look at a job that he was working at that he really fucking hated, to change his job, to get into doing something he really likes and is good at, which was sales. And he also started a business on the side, a little small business on the side. And it actually seems like it's starting to take off right away, which I think is really great. So it's a great inspiring story because I know a lot of my clients come to me because they've had a bad breakup or they're trying to get an ex back or a wife back or save a relationship. And that's a really difficult time when you go through a traumatic experience like that and your whole life completely comes apart. And it's like because your identity becomes associated with being with that person or being in that relationship or working in that job or that career or living in that town or being a part of that family or being a part of that team. And then all of a sudden you're pulled away from that by circumstances that are out of your control, and you have no choice but to reinvent yourself and to work towards becoming a better version of yourself. And so everybody has to go through this at some point in their life. And so it's a really great email. It's an inspiring email for those of you that are watching that are going through a really difficult time in your life where you feel like things suck and it's never going to get any better for you. So I got a quote that I wrote on this particular topic, and then I'm going to go through his email. And the quote says, "The reason why most people don't take risks, pursue their dreams, and reach their full potential is that they live their lives in reaction to avoiding what they fear instead of taking action towards what they want despite their fears. They move away from what scares them because they fear failure, fear they don't have what it takes to succeed, or fear that they won't be loved and accepted by their friends, family, or peer group. If what they want involves taking risks and moving towards things which scare them or things that are outside of their comfort zone, which pursuing one's dreams always does, they will look for something that is easier, involves little to no risk, or what feels comfortable and safe. The downside to this approach is that they end up living their lives never knowing or experiencing what they are truly capable of. When you decide to pursue a dream career, start a business, or master something you always wanted to do, the path to success is never clear. You'll have ideas and concepts of what it will take to succeed, but won't necessarily know how you will end up where you want to be. Successful people understand that they will figure out and learn what to do to succeed along the journey to becoming or obtaining what they want. The more they are willing to adapt and change their approach, learn from their mistakes, and persist in spite of the obstacles, challenges, or their fears, the quicker they will arrive at their destination." So let's go ahead and just go through his email. He says, "Hi Corey, I just got a recent email newsletter from you and decided I should finally write you. I just wanted to let you know what you're doing is awesome. Honestly, you're the only person I've ever found on the internet that makes sense as far as self-help, relationship advice, etc. I stumbled across your YouTube videos back in April, around the time a girl I was seeing broke up with me. I had only been seeing her for a few months, but it was long enough to fall head over heels in love with her. She had just gotten out of a relationship, and she actually pursued me pretty hard. Well, a lot of times when somebody gets out of a relationship and they go right into establishing a new one, they're trying to get back to that level of intimacy. And so those kind of situations can be like playing with fire. So you got to tread carefully. Always look at what the other person is doing, not so much what they're saying. He says, "We had everything in common. You know, it just felt better than any girl I'd ever been with. We listened to all the same music, and we just really clicked together. We were always laughing together, sex was great, and I just had no complaints at all. Not to mention, she's definitely an 8. I mean, she's a pretty girl." He says, "A mutual friend of ours actually introduced us, which of course made it more difficult. It's strange, we all went to school together, and although she was a few years younger, we still had a lot of mutual friends, but somehow never connected in high school. She was even friends with my younger sister for a bit. I'm 32, she's 28. Anyway, she really fucked my head up. I mean, she just took off and fucking shut me down. After the breakup, I even remember her saying we could still be friends and that she didn't want me out of her life, but I knew that was bullshit. We never spoke again. And then some dumb shit who I went to high school with, someone who I actually helped quite a bit when I was working for T-Mobile, threw me under the bus after I mentioned her and I had broken up. He basically told her I was blowing him up asking about her. Just the craziest shit ever. Just basically implying that I was trying to figure out what she was up to, etc. It was like high school bullshit, man. It was ridiculous. I called him to see if he wanted to hit the gym for the fact that he knows weight training well, and it's something I want to get into. If I wasn't hurting bad enough already, this just made it much worse. I never knew what his intentions were, but I definitely learned from that one. Well, there's probably a good chance that he wanted to get into her pants, so by trying to cock block you and make you look bad, he figured he would really destroy any chances of her wanting to get back together with you, especially if she mentioned she was thinking about you. That's the only reason. He ain't a real friend, by the way. Fuck that guy. Don't ever hang out with him again. This is not the kind of person you want to allow into your inner circle. Fuck that shit. He says, throughout the pain, I kept watching your videos and even downloaded your book. I have a hard time staying focused when reading, although I've read a lot of it and plan to read more when I can make some time. 10 to 15 times, dude. You gotta learn the fundamentals. If you're not a book reader, take the time to read my book. It will make your life better. 10 to 15 times. It's really all about how to be a man and to focus on his mission and his purpose in life, and of course also how to have a great personal life and social life. I'm a single father and I'm doing the best to keep the pace with the mother of my children while bettering my life and making a better life for my kids. At the time this girl broke it off with me, I was miserable, but your videos helped so much. Shortly before her and I were done, I was working at Royal Caribbean Call Center, here where I live, where I quit due to the fact that I hated it that much. Yeah, life's too short to be working at a job you fucking hate. And that is the benefit of when a bad relationship happens or ends, or a good relationship ends unexpectedly. It's like you look around, it's like you take stock of your life and you look around and you know what? This is fucking bullshit. I'm quitting this fucking job. But make sure you get something new lined up before you quit your existing job. So he says, I started driving for Oregon Taxi, and I would listen to your videos through YouTube and the speakers of the little Scion cab that I was driving working nights. I considered going back to school, but I went back to what I do best, which is sales. I'm selling cars now and loving it. Notice the fact that he's loving what he's doing. He's doing something that he's really good at, which is sales. He's good with people. You're going to be a lot more successful doing something that you love and you have a passion for versus a job like he was doing, Royal Caribbean, which he fucking hated. He says, I've only been there for a month, but it's the best fit for me and it's so far so good. So the good news is you got a job that's steady and it pays the bills. This is a great thing to have going on when you're trying to build a business on the side or you're trying to go to school on the side to get a degree in something that you really want to do. It's just a means to an end. He says, after her, I ran through a bunch of random females through the summer, and then I realized what you said is true, and I had a hard time facing the fact that you really do need to be patient and finding that one girl who really knocks your socks off, as you say. So I'm doing my best right now just to keep it in my pants, stay focused and centered on my purpose in life, not letting these females get to me. Months before her, I had a random idea. I started this Facebook page called That Oregon Life, which quickly grew and is now almost 50,000 followers. Dude, that's pretty fucking awesome. I've always wanted to start my own business and make money on the internet. I kept plugging away at it, even though I was hurting from her, so it was pretty difficult at times, especially with the summer being so damn hot and trying to sit at my computer. The website, thatoregonlife.com, is blowing up now, and I even made $200 from ad clicks from Google AdSense. and that was just in a couple of days here in the beginning of October. It's kind of a random website, and I do everything from real news to writing ridiculous satire and posting YouTube videos related to Oregon. Well, you're doing things that are naturally exciting and compelling to you. And you obviously have a passion for it, so you're putting that passion into it, so that's why you're getting results. This is something you've always wanted to do. And the reason most people don't do these kinds of things is the story that they tell themselves about why it won't work or why it's not in the cards for them. It's like I was talking to a guy today who wants to get into script writing and writing screenplays, but he was always fearful that he'd never be able to do it, and so he never really even considered it. And so his whole life he's been working bullshit jobs. And so what I told him to do is go take a class in screenwriting and see how you like it. And if you like that, then start doing 1 to 3 minute videos for YouTube and upload one per week. The secret to marketing yourself on the internet is content is king. Put things either on YouTube or on your Facebook fan page or on your own personal website, and make sure you have Google's tracking code embedded in your website for Google Analytics so they can know when people are actually on your website. And they will deliver you your audience. They will find your clients for you. You have to do it consistently. So pick a schedule and stick to it. It's like presently at the time of this video, I'm doing YouTube videos and articles on my website Monday through Thursday. 4 days a week religiously they go out. The key to continually growing your audience for free from YouTube and Google search and other search engines is consistently publishing content on the same days. He says, we, the mutual friend that introduced me to the Heartbreaker, have some great ideas for Oregon duck shirts and other Oregon gear. We know some attractive girls that are down to model our clothes as well when we get to this stage, so it'll take off. See, you're thinking like an entrepreneur. You're thinking like a college student. You don't have a lot of money to pay really attractive models to model your clothes. So you do the next best thing. You talk to the really hot girls that you know, and they're excited. It's like all women that are beautiful, they love the camera, and they're happy to do it. And maybe even give them a small percentage of what sells, or $100 for the day. I mean, it's a lot better. It's like you're thinking like a college student. That's how an entrepreneur needs to think. He says, I experimented with Teespring a bit, but I didn't have much luck with it. I'm realizing we're definitely going to need some cash flow just to print the shirts we want. Keep focusing on producing content. Keep doing the videos, keep doing the articles on your website, and make sure you do them week in and week out. Publish them the same time. And when you save up enough money from your AdSense and whatever you're making from the advertising being run on your YouTube videos, use that to reinvest your business and pay yourself first. Make sure that 20% of what you make goes into your personal savings and you put that away. And the rest you can reinvest in your business. He says, so yeah, I just want to personally thank you again for everything you do, and keep it up what you're doing, Corey. Your stories are definitely inspiring, and it's just nice to know that I'm not the only one that's been down this lonely road. Your help has turned my life around and made me realize while there were a lot of things I've done right when it comes to women and in life in general, but there's a hell of a lot of things I've done wrong. It's strange, I've always felt intimidated by beautiful women, and I've always dealt with these insecurities, and you made me realize there was nothing to be insecure about. It's like what Steve Jobs said. We're all living in bodies that are going to die. So really, you're completely naked as it is. So it makes sense to spend your life working at something that brings you great joy instead of great suffering. And if you have to work at something that brings you great suffering, at least be working at something on the side, whether it's a business or going to night school or something like that, so you can get a degree and eventually get into a career that you really want to get into. And think about it. When you're on your deathbed, do you want to say, yeah, those 1,000 beautiful women that I encountered and never asked out, I'm really glad I never asked them out? Think about it. Go for it. You'll probably never see them again anyways. He says, I realized with this last one that I wasn't putting my best foot forward, as you say, and I can't blame her for walking out. I still think about her quite a bit sometimes, and I even have these dreams that are way too real, but I also realize I can do much better than her. Exactly. I think you said she was only an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. I want you to have a woman who knocks your fucking socks off. The kind of woman that every time you look at her, you just go, God, she's intoxicating to look at. I'm friends with several of my ex-girlfriends from many years ago, and even when I see them, I go, damn, I fucking forgot how fucking beautiful she was. And there are just certain women in life that are going to have that effect on you. You're going to always feel that way towards them. And it's wonderful that you can still have women like that in your life and still be friends with them, even though you don't no longer have an intimate relationship. He says, I want you to know that I've also recommended your videos to other dudes I know are struggling with life and relationships, and I will continue to do so. I always appreciate referrals. Thank you. He says, if you get a chance, check out my website. And while you may not be able to relate to this article, I'll give you an idea of what it's all about. Anyways, here's the link. So he gives me a link to his website. I'll actually put one in the article to some of his pages and stuff so you guys can go check that out if you're interested to see what he's doing. But he's got over 50,000 subscribers to his fan page, and he's blogging about things that are interesting to him. And there's an audience for that. There's a nice little niche. There's a teacher, I can't remember who his name is. I think he's an internet marketer. And he says there's riches and niches. In other words, he's got his own little niche market, just like I have my own niche market with self-help, dating, relationships, pickup skills, quality of life issues, taking care of your body health-wise, having a great career, having a great business. That's my niche. I teach things that I have learned over the course of my life, and I've applied that have gotten me results that I've learned from thousands of books and self-help teachers and seminars that I've been reading over the past 25, 26 years of my adult life. And I'm going to continue to be a lifelong learner, and I always learn from people who are succeeding at things I want to succeed at. And so it's like one of the quickest ways to speed up your success in anything in life is go find people that are succeeding at the highest level at what you want to do. If you want to become an entrepreneur, go sit down and talk to people who are successful entrepreneurs and find out what they did and what they focus on. Don't go talk to everybody that you know in your life that started a business and failed at it, because all they're going to do is give you their unsuccessful strategy for how to create a business that's going to fail. Think about it. Study people who are successful, model their success, do the same things that they do day in and day out, and guess what? Eventually, you're going to get the same results. But focus on your niche. Focus on doing what you love and what you have a passion for. That's why it's like I teach a lot of things that a lot of other self-help people teach, but I teach it my own unique way. I'm not trying to be a knockoff version of Tony Robbins or Wayne Dyer or Deepak Chopra or anybody else. I think all of them, they have great work and everybody can learn from them, and I recommend them highly. But I'm focusing on something that is a great niche for me, that I have a passion for, and teaching stuff that I know works. And if you're going to start a career or a business, do something that you have a passion for, because if you really love it and you have a passion for it, you'll work really hard at it. If it's just something on a scale of 1 to 10, emotionally compelling wise, it's only like a 5 or a 6, you're just not going to put in the effort it's going to take to really become awesome at it. So focus at doing something that you love, that you enjoy. It's the kind of thing that you love it so much and it brings you so much enjoyment, you do for free. Just like this guy here. He started his fan page on Oregon Life because he had a passion and an interest in it. And he's got 50,000 fans. I mean, that's pretty amazing. That took off in a really short period of time, just literally in a matter of months. I think that's pretty fucking awesome. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.